heroes now needed to encourage Celius to fight his own shadow, which he had himself summoned using his father's spellbooks. And he... Once upon a time, Amadeus the Wizard was waking up in a cottage high up in the mountains.
It's a bit nippy in here. Time to throw some snowballs. Too many. Walking all alone in the wild outdoors like this makes me miss my old adventures, but not so much all the near-death experiences. My trustworthy box magic gets me up when feeling down. Oh, poor goat. Whew. Oh no, last night's avalanche laid waste to the bridge. Now how am I going to get to the mailbox? What an amazing goat! Thank you. For a moment there, I was sure he was going to ram me. What's this? A letter for me?
The second of our enchanted heroes was Pontius the Knight. Just before the quest was about, the derelict manor had...
Shame about the house. This must have been a snug little place back in the day, with tended fields full of everything good you'd want to eat in a pie. It's a haunted old manor, but I cleverly chose to come here at noon. Cursed undead nights don't look so scary in the daylight. How a good knight can turn into such a miserable villain, that I'll never understand.
There's little you understand, fellow knight. But I was once much like you.
What a strange dead fellow.
Wounded in combat, I became useless. I was discharged from service.
No, that wasn't how it
became
went.
an embarrassment
Let's try
to
again.
other knights. In the end, I was abandoned
Here
by
I
my
am,
friends,
you
by my
bloody
servant.
That's no excuse for your evil doing. Sir, you can't stand light, sir. Let's find some more light then.
last hero was Zoya. Like Amadeus and Pontius, she was also enchanted with... While the whole...
There were so many paintings up there, it'll take them weeks to even notice one of them's gone. Wait, what am I doing? Talking to myself.
We're already late for the masquerade.
Isn't it supposed to last all night?
Unlike the merry revelers, Zoya wasn't interested in the festival of masks. She had an engagement of another sort entirely.
Now to find the doorbell.
A pleasure. In exchange for the stolen painting, Zoya received a purse full of gold. Unexpectedly, however, the thief found her conscience weighing upon her.
It was just a painting. Maybe the masquerade can cheer me up.
The many letters sent by the Master Wizardess directed our three heroes to a rocky and wind-beaten heath. There they... But before the quest could begin...
Zoya, I hope you've given up your crooked ways since we last met.
Well, I haven't stolen anything in almost an hour at least. Maybe I'm already on my way to redemption.
Arresting Zoya would make a rough start for our adventure. I think we're going to need all three of us to find this missing prince.
Strange light. What's it for, then?
What do you think about this quest? What's so urgent about getting this boy back to the academy?
Maybe they worry about him getting kidnapped. A prince could collect a handsome ransom.
Or he could run into trouble out there in those old ruins.
Oh,
What a big bird that was.
I hope it's not wizard hunting season for them. What just happened? The walls went poof. They didn't look like normal animals at all. They were all wrong.
There's magics at work.
The wizards hope we find the prince somewhere on this heath.
I wonder what brings him to this dreary place. If I was running away from school, I'd go somewhere with more entertaining prospects.
There's a ruined castle on this heath. Maybe he's headed there.
That poor nest. It wasn't us. It was the wolves.
We're only here to help, Mom.
Sorry about the mess. Please don't kill us. Any chance you'd fly us all the way? No? Oh well.
And it's drizzling.
Hope the wizards don't mind us returning a prince with the sniffles.
It's just a few raindrops. We'll shrug them off.
She's back. How gracious of you to help us again.
The overgrown, long-abandoned garden had once surrounded and protected a castle.
At least it stopped raining.
And we're in a pretty garden.
Ooh, things are looking up.
Some kind of enchantment must be keeping this fountain chilly.
More vanishing monsters.
Maybe the prince is summoning them to distract us? The wizards did say he knows magic.
I guess this quest isn't going to be as straightforward as I thought it would be.
I notice you've changed the colour of your box, Amadeus.
Does it mean it's now more powerful than ever?
I thought it might be fun to coordinate with my fine new wardrobe. In fact, I thought you'd notice the new coat before the box.
Well, I guess it's an improvement from running around in sandals without any trousers.
There were trousers, just very short ones.
I remember. It's what all the wizards wore back in the day.
Your Highness. Prince Celius?
If they're Celius's Vadrians we're fighting, it's a good thing he's only afraid of wolves and spiders.
Too true. Imagine if he'd had a phobia for dragons, then getting through this garden would be a real nightmare.
It could be worse, though. Empty pie tins, mouldy potatoes.
Let's stop talking about this. If this prince can summon fearsome nightmares, then we really shouldn't be adding any arrows into his quiver.
Maybe we'll be lucky and there'll be no other monsters to contend with.
Amadeus's hopeful optimism was amusingly misplaced.
It's the castle gates. At last, we've passed the garden.
So, this is where our prince was headed.
Having at last made their way through the thorny garden, our heroes found the remains of what had once been a majestic...
There's a note up ahead.
Look at that portrait. It's young Son's. So this was his home.
Someone or something took a swipe at his siblings.
Strange crystal wall. How curious.
I guess it
The water pipes here seem totally wrecked.
might make exploring the ruins a bit more challenging.
So we take a little dip here and there. It'll be fine.
I guess the castle's seen better days.
Should say so.
Looks abandoned to me. So what is the prince up to, Carl? Even in ruins, this castle stinks of fortune. Too bad everything of worth is already looted.
It must have been a grand little palace back in its day.
It's funny how we always find castles only when they're ruins.
Yes, I propose we break in. Sooner or later, we'll have to get into a nasty confrontation with the prince to make him come back with us.
Maybe Zoya has it right. We can't just keep on asking him to come along and hope he does.
Come on now. We just need to cheer him up a bit and everything will be as right as rain.
last.
Cornered by the heroes in the depths of the ruined castle, Prince Celius had
I'm pretty much ready to hate this boy.
Celius was grounded to the waking world with the talisman, but once he destroyed it, he could enter this dream world.
It's the castle we just visited, but it's repaired.
These seem to be some kind of dream portals.
Is travelling through someone else's dream portal safe? Will the prince end up brain-addled if we go through the wrong one?
Let's find out.
How can the three of you follow me? What sort of powers do you have?
We happen to be enchanted with ancient, amazing magics.
You're intruding. Get out of my dreams.
Any ideas how we could do that, Your Highness? Didn't think so.
As we're in a dream, is the dense, impassable fog a metaphor for something?
Could be repressed memories. Maybe something he can't face.
Or maybe they had a serious gas leak in the castle.
So what's this lift a metaphor for?
Maybe it means we are plunging down into the dark depths of his consciousness. I'm glad it's the prince's nightmares we have to contend with. It'd be awful if they were mine. There was a terrible old witch I was scared of when I was young. I still have nightmares about her.
Stop! Stop talking about your dreams. It's not safe.
Amadeus, come to Auntie Gretchen.
My trousers! What lunacy is this?
To make some potions. Warm up the cauldron.
Oh no. Last time I made potions, my hair turned white all over. What if it's worse than the last time? What if my hair falls out entirely? What if something else falls off? My toes? Or worse?
I could just light this up with a fireball. But I prefer to see you bumble about cluelessly. Get to work.
Of course, Auntie, of course. Just please don't drink any potions.
Finally, but wait.
Oh, did I just face my fears and complete potions and come through it all stronger? How very well done of me.
The prince's dream had given the heroes some insight to what
How about we let the boy run? It's his life. And it's not like we're getting anything out of this little field trip, except a pat on the back from the wizards.
Leave the boy alone? In a nighttime forest full of nightmares?
And what if some innocent bystanders run into those monsters?
Oh, look at the glowy stones.
Must be some kind of ancient magic lingering in these ruins.
Let's see what this magic can do.
Amadeus was so scared of. She reminds me of someone.
You don't say.
Oh, I really can't put my finger on who it was.
Amadeus, how is Margaret?
Oh, the usual. Business is booming, I hear.
Interesting moths in this forest.
That thing up there, that was no moth.
Oh, this forest must be enchanted.
What if Ceres manages to conjure up all our nightmares?
Then we'll face them like we did with your Aunt Gretchen.
The Brits can't conjure a single creature that can scare me.
Anyone help me? Hear that? We'd better get to it.
The heroes followed the distant cry of help. It sounded like a friendly dead.
There's no more shouting. I hope they're all right up there.
Let's get out of this cave and see what's going on.
My money's on more nightmares.
Oh my goodness! My night...
Look at the mess in here.
This badger dreams of evil hedgehogs?
Well, they can be a bit prickly.
I suppose we all have our quirks when it comes to our subconscious.
This must be the kitchen. Look at all the lovely goodness.
Now, we don't want to resort to thievery, do we?
You might. I was only appreciating Mr. Badger's good taste in pies.
We can't trust Prince Celis to take care of his nightmares on his own. Not while he can't control his powers.
And too bad his talisman was shattered. Quite a lot we three can do to contain him.
What if he magics up every nightmare of every single creature in these forests?
The nightmares really went all the way hiding this journal.
Well, it wouldn't be much of a nightmare, more of a mild disturbance if they'd hidden it in the cave next door.
But we're not afraid of dark holes in the ground. So let's find that journal.
I usually leave my spare key under a gnome somewhere in the garden.
Missing journal. Well done, us.
Seems like it's a book on natural history.
The heroes continued their pursuit of the Nightmare Prince, but the trail...
At least Celius chose to run off into a more welcoming part of these woods.
Oh, a nice change of pace from rain and ruins.
And the golden leaves remind me pleasantly of gold.
Monster badgers!
Someone certainly has strange dreams.
Oh, strange.
What do you know? I think of my shield really hard, and suddenly I get a spare one.
How interesting. It must be a side effect of the wildly rampant... wait. Didn't we just encounter evil hedgehogs in that badger's house?
Are you saying we might be picking flowers for evil?
Just because the badger has hedgehog nightmares doesn't make all hedgehogs evil. Well, that red poppy was easy to find. Just 2 more flowers to go.
these evil badgers come from?
They must be the hedgehog's nightmares.
I guess the badger and the hedgehog aren't very close neighbours.
Here's the last one, the orange trolleus.
Trolleus? But that flower doesn't look like a troll at all.
The heroes took the hedgehog's advice and followed a path leading to the northern.
Oh, a dangerous beast.
What a nice little fellow.
That seal is as dangerous as I am dainty.
A lakeside cottage would be cozy.
Mr. Seal. Treacherous monster of the depths!
Oh, this must be the seal's nightmare.
Let's help.
Oh, it didn't like that.
We haven't encountered nightmares quite like this before.
That might mean we're getting close to the prince.
Aha!
Victory! Thank you again, Mr. Seal.
While it was common for the adventurers to encounter magical creatures that allowed them to bounce up and conquer steep cliffs, most seals, in fact, were and are not quite as magical. In fact, wise young adventurer normally restrain themselves from jumping on top of harmless animals.
Oh, the view from up here is amazing.
Any sign of the prince?
Can't see him anywhere down there, so up the hill we go.
No, wait! We're supposed to be friends! Not you, too! Oh, you can't just take my cloak away! Two against one? Not very knightly now, eh? I'm sorry, my fellows.
What had begun as a simple quest to retrieve a missing prince was now turning into a much darker tale. Distressed by their last encounter with Celius, the heroes continued their dogged pursuit into the wild.
Drat. What are we to do now?
What's the point of looking for the prince if we'll only get into another fight with him?
Instead of pursuing him, we should be looking for a remedy for his nightmares.
As for what that might be,
Not even the Academy wizards know.
Heroes of Trine, we have observed your quest across these woodlands with great interest. Come find me in these wilds, and I will help you with your quest.
Muddy waters are speaking to us.
and with such a charming voice.
Ugh, just don't jump into any ponds after strange ladies.
But they're offering help, and we could really use...
Why are these shadowy beasts all over the forests, even without Celius around?
The Nightmare Prince's magic has drawn out fear and darkness from within all the woodland creatures.
Seeing the wilderness in this state.
The abandoned rubbish does ruin the mood of this otherwise charming marsh. Complimentary. Those were supposed to be complimentary.
These bones remind me of the time when all those skeletons came to life.
We were lucky back then that all the necromancy was limited to fairly small piles of bones.
Although an epic fight against an undead dragon would have been a tale to remember.
fishy creature of the marshlands had surprised the heroes with her assistance. They had...
Amadeus, can you tell us what's in the vial?
It's some kind of a glowy liquid. Obviously magical. As
Heroes of Trine, come find my tree in the forest and I will help you.
this is the most enchanting forest I've ever been in.
I guess we're in for another fishy encounter.
Oh, we'll go see the mermaid's brother. He'll know what to do.
Oh, is it injured?
Aren't we being far too trustworthy with these spirits in the woods?
They seem to have something up their sleeves. And well, I wouldn't have the slightest clue what to do with the prince, even if we found it.
Neither did the wizards, and their solution was to lock him in the Astral Academy dungeons. They probably meant well, but it turned out to be a big mistake.
So, we bumble about and hope it turns out all right. Then again, we can always do that.
Hello again, Mr. Bear.
Bear is better at climbing trees than I am.
Give it a white one, and it's just like Zoya.
I want the bear to join us on our adventure.
It's not quite as magical as we are. What if things get hairy or furry?
Best let it stay in the woods.
The last of the woodland spirits the heroes were to meet lived in an enchanted...
Heroes, come find me in the highest treetops.
The treetops? Why the treetops?
Perhaps you could come down to us instead?
No, No problem, missus. Let's climb.
I wish actual gardening was this easy. My thumb is usually all other colours but green. I'm so relieved these forest spirits are offering to help us.
Just as soon as we reach the treetops, that nice lady will complete the potion for us.
And I guess then we'll make the prince drink it.
With the nightmares gone, everything will be back to normal.
And hurrah! Let's just hope Celius doesn't come up with another new nightmare before that.
Although the enchanted canopy was lovely and captivating, there was a foreboding sense of uneasiness in the air. The further up the heroes climbed, the air around them felt all the more oppressing, especially so for Zoya the thief.
Something's making my skin crawl.
Is it all the pollen from the flowers?
No, it's like this foreboding sense of dread.
I had that just before my nightmare. Oh, what a dark
Now that you
look
mention it,
this
me
is.
too.
My crown protects me! Oh, little monster! How dare you defile my crown!
Amadeus, Pontius, and Zoya pursued Celius again with renewed vigor, now in possession of a chance to help the lost prince. If the prince could be cured of his curse, there'd be no more danger of...
The fairy potion looks like it's made of liquid light.
Makes sense, as we seem to be fighting shadows.
Now we just follow the trail of nightmares which should lead us to Celius. The wind currents of these slopes are quite strong.
How are we going to make Celius drink the potion?
I guess we start by asking nicely.
Or we could just tie him up before he summons anything else.
Maybe I should carry Zoya.
I'm not an invalid. Seems we don't even have to tie him up to make him drink the potion.
No scary red eyes or shadows either.
I suppose he got tired of running.
The heroes chased the vanishing prince into the dream portal. Before the prince had been pulled through, he declared the magic potion had fortified him.
This is the Astral Academy.
No, this is not the actual academy. It's only how the prince remembers it. This magnetic plate is almost as attracting as I am. When I was a student, the academy was such a delightful place to study in.
And to sweep.
It was also delightfully easy to break into. Watch out for that red light.
You know, I don't think that was Celius.
It was a nightmare posing as the prince.
I'm worried it was much cleverer than anything we've encountered so far.
Then we need to find the real prince.
Didn't he mention he was kept in the Academy dungeons during his time here? There.
You're right. Logically, it would be the place where we would find him in his dream as well.
So, to the dungeons.
Seen enough of this dream?
Oh, you know, we're just looking for the library.
But that's just a memory. Wouldn't you rather I sent you to the real Ashton Academy?
Oh, please, we know what you are. Where's Celius?
I am Prince Celius.
And down we go.
Down is good, right? We might find the dungeons.
I'm worried about that nightmare that looks like Celius. He'll be down there as well.
Nothing a few arrows can't fix.
Looks like the Academy dungeons.
After the prince's nightmare ended, the heroes found themselves back in the snow-covered mountain.
Oh, tombs.
It'll be dark and spooky down there.
We're not jumping at shadows now, are we?
You can't harm me, heroes, for I am no nightmare. I am part of Prince Celius. I am the shadow of his soul. Whatever you do to me will affect him also. Put away your swords and arrows and boxes, unless you want this boy to die.
So this is shadow magic. And what an interesting yet impractical application of it.
What is this lonely prince to you, that you'll follow him to the ends of the world, Aren't there goats and orphans and poor peasants out there you'd rather be helping? Leave the prince to me, and I'll let you go unharmed, and we'll all live happily ever after.
No, if only because I don't like your smug attack.
If you want no harm to come to Celius, why did you spirit him away?
Down here in the dark, he will turn into a shadow. I become the prince instead. I will have no qualms using our magic powers. I will be the true knight.
Let me out!
We're coming!
The heroes now needed to encourage Celius to fight his own shadow, which he had.
It's half shadow and half ice.
Excuse us, young prince, but you're giving us no choice here.
But a peaceful resolution seemed now impossible.